What's up, good friends? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report, as well as my day job. You know, this is freaking amazing to me. You remember we had the spike in lumber. Of course, you know, the last 6 months, the prices of houses went up like crazy. If you had to do your deck, it was going to cost you an arm and 3 legs. And unfortunately, I had to do a lot of work on my deck this summer. And when I was buying 12-foot decking boards, they were costing me about $20 a piece at the peak. Now, this is actually pretty cool because I've got to do a deck. I need 30 16-footers to take care of some maintenance on rental properties. Now, check it out. The prime 5/4 here, 15, back to where it was before. Oh, but here, if you want to go a little cheaper, check out right here. Look at that, 1048. 1048 for the ones that have some more knots on it. That's the number 2s. What a change it's been. Now, the biggest problem for me, I've been renovating a house, the rental property that was really trashed by some tenants, and this is where my wife's going to come in to do a better job at managing and making sure that we don't get places torn up like they were. The biggest problem we've had is supplies. Trying to get things, simple things like just old work boxes, electrical boxes that you usually get for 79 cents. You won't be able to find, and you'll end up finding replacement ones that are like white, that are like $3 a piece, or trying to buy certain materials where they'll be out of stock. In fact, doors. I have a Home Depot account, and because I needed these doors, replacement doors, I had to go to 4 different Home Depots on the way down here. So I went one in Northern Virginia, I went one in Central Virginia, and then one in Harrisonburg. And by the time I got back to Waynesboro, they were like, okay, there's fraud on your card. It's like, no, it's not fraud. It's just that, one place had 2, one place had 1, and so on. So I had to keep on going from store to store to store. And the other part of this is, now that the lumber has come down, which is great, it kind of peaked up a little bit with the hurricanes that came through, just kind of elevated just a little bit, not a whole lot. But the problem now is copper. The wiring is through the roof. So it's kind of one of those things that they're going to get you one way or the other on the materials. Now I'm going to go back and show you guys the final renovations of the house that we're working on. And I feel really good about it. The tenant will be moving in on Monday. So yeah. All right, good people. So I'm a little bit dirty because I just finished power washing the deck, but I actually want to show you what we've actually done. We trimmed the trees here. We've cut the grass. I've actually fixed the soffits up here and reused the original gutters. But I vinyl wrapped it, vinyl underneath of it and metal fascia on it. Power washed the deck here. And again, we reused the same gutter, but we took care of replacing the fascia boards on there and then wrapped them. Wrapping it with the metal will keep it from rotting out, and it'll keep you from having more problems later on. This was built, I believe, in the 80s. We've had it since 2007 or so. And we've gone through, we had tenants that, if you remember watching the other video, they broke the front window. I think they smoked because it had smoke oil on there. You have to wipe it all down to get it cleaned up, but we replaced the windows and stuff in there, and we've painted everything. And we put down a nice laminate floor here that'll keep it looking really, really good. And then my lovely bride, I ended up building all new cabinets here. To make it look a lot better. We ended up repainting the door here, making it close real good. The thing I did with these cabinets is I actually, because I built them myself, the shelving and the carcass of this is actually plywood that's 3/4 inch. I actually bought pre-finished plywood, so all of this stuff has actually got varnish on it, which makes it easy to clean in the future. Hopefully that the tenants won't tear it up. The other part of this, and you can see, this is the plywood, 3/4 inch. You don't get 3/4 inch cabinet plywood when you buy them from the store, but these are built solid. You can see the pocket holes that are in here that actually hold it together, that are hidden. But trying to build this stuff to last. Of course, we just used laminate countertops, which are cost effective. You can replace them real easy and stuff. But I'd like to think it's a good kitchen as far as functionality goes. We actually don't have a dishwasher in here because the way it used to be, the stove was on the end, and I didn't like having the stove on the end. Somebody comes through there, they could get burned. So we moved that to where the dishwasher was. And instead of having a blind cabinet, pow, look at that. We put in a Lazy Susan in there. So at that, and we took the soffit out and carried the cabinets to the ceiling. This way, the person's got more cabinet space in here. We didn't paint them. I'm a naturalist. I like actually having nice hardwood traditional cabinets. And we added this cabinet over here. So what'll be really good is if it's a family or guest, you can put a couple of bar stools on the other side. You can use this as a nice little prep area. The kids can study here, you know, and all that and be part of it. And it's got that open concept feel. So come on along, let's go ahead and show you some more. Here we have our hallway. Oops, excuse me, so many daggone lights. There we go. Our hallway here. This is one of our bedrooms. We put mirror sliding doors here, so that way it makes them feel bigger than it actually is. And we have one of our bathrooms. Now, I actually built this cabinet 12 years or so ago, and you can see it's still actually holding up really good. Not a huge bathroom and all that, but you know, not a bad space at all. And here we have, again, another bedroom, mirrored doors and stuff in here, and not a huge bedroom, but a nice size one. So this is all the top floor. Yeah, see, this would be a great apartment just like this is a 2-bedroom unit. But wait, there's more. Check this out. Oops. Need to take the furnace filters downstairs, so we have those. And it's key, say this, it's key to change the filters every other month because it'll make the units last longer and it'll also keep the energy bills down. And here we have our stairway here. It's a split level. We took the old antique hard pine steps and we sanded those out and stained them. And again, we put more laminate floor here. Repainted the front door. And of course, going down here in the basement, or the lower level, got some storage space up underneath here. And you can see how the stairwell, that actually looks pretty good. So now you have our ceiling fan that's up in here, and you have a nice little living room that's down here. Of course, you can see out front there. And because these are bedrooms down here, we actually carpeted this part. I don't like to walk on floors that aren't carpeted. We have a egress window over here, another bedroom, ceiling fan in here. Painting wise, here's the thing about paint. Flat paint hides everything. You got lumps and bumps in the wall, doesn't matter with flat paint, you won't see them. But the problem with flat paint, they do have the ones that are washable, but it still will kind of hold grime. Here we have our utility room, a hot water heater and washer and dryer hookup, and our HVAC unit with extra furnace filters. But it's a pain in the rear end to keep clean. So I like to use a satin on the walls, a satin or an eggshell finish. You can spray it with Fantastic, get a good grade of paint, and stuff will come off of it, and you can touch it up real easy. So is our other bathroom. So we got 2 full bathrooms in here. Nice shower. I built that 12 years or 13 years ago. And toilet, vanity. And again, carpet. And of course, we have tile here for the landing because, of course, that goes outside to the back. And another ceiling fan. This is technically a 4-bedroom unit, and originally it was a foreclosure property that needed a whole lot of work. It's actually 2 units. The other one's a mirror of this. The good thing is we've had to put a lot of work into it because of the last tenant, but we really haven't had to do major work like this since we originally got it like in 2008 or so. So there's some things you can do to minimize some of the issues that you have. My wife is going to do better at making sure we have better tenants that will take care of places. doing monthly checks, changing furnace filters and things like that are another way you can kind of keep up with the tenants and things. And the other thing I'll finally say is use good materials, because if you go cheap sometimes with materials, if you're planning on keeping it or renting it, it'll come back to haunt you. If you buy that, $29 faucet, well, you're probably going to have to replace it in a year or two. And getting a plumber, if you're not doing the work yourself, can cost you like $100 and some for them to come out just to change that faucet. You're better off getting that $69 or $79 faucet that'll actually last longer and hold up better. So those are the tips that I have as far as a rental property goes. And I hope you enjoyed the tour of the place. And there, my number one helper there, my number one son. He's number one in a lot of things. And I hope you are having a great day. If you have any questions for me about home improvements, home repairs, rental properties, or anything cabinet making wise, leave a comment down below and maybe I'll do a video and a shout out to you on it. And there you go. Have a great day. One more thing before I go. What's kind of interesting is the housing inspector actually came through and he said, I know every house that you've worked on. I said, how is that? He said, because of the way you've done your traps down here. Because he said, you actually glue them together. He said, nobody does it. Everybody uses basically the screw-on fittings and things like that, which are fine to do. They're actually a little bit easier because you can kind of, maneuver them and stuff instead of gluing them. But here's the problem. A lot of times people will stuff a lot of stuff up underneath the cabinets, and because those screw-on ones are thin-walled, they move around and they can just kind of get a little bit cockeyed, and then all of a sudden you got a leak under the cabinet. And if you didn't build your cabinets like I did with 3/4 inch plywood and it's particle board, guess what? That sucker is going to be destroyed. So here's the trick. I actually plumb all this together, and you can see it's all glued up, right? And you're saying, but yeah, that's a problem if you have to work on it. No, not at all. Because right here, you unscrew this whole manifold here will come right off of there, and you can work on it and put it right back in place. And that's one of those tricks I've learned over the years of making life a lot easier and keeping some of the headaches away. One final note too, garbage disposals. Should you use them in a rental property? Well, the problem is some people think that everything goes down a garbage disposal. Everything, including spoons, coins, rocks, everything. Or they'll overload it. And what happens is all of a sudden you get it clogged up because they don't know. And then you got to call a plumber to snake it out. Or it gets stuck and then they don't understand that there's a reset button that's up. Let's see, where is it? There's the reset button right over there that you use to reset it. And there's a tool that comes with the garbage disposal that goes in there. It's basically an Allen wrench. And you can turn that to loosen that sucker out. Most people don't know that. And then you call a plumber. They charge you $150. They take the wrench, they turn it, and then it's done. So to have a garbage disposal or not have a garbage disposal, it's a great thing to have. But if you're having to deal with it and having to call a plumber to fix it, it could cost you money. And that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Peace.